Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today to talk about G2 versus Misfits. I'm not going to spoil you the game, but I guess it is fair to say that I already watched the game. It just finished up. It's a very interesting game because, everyone had this hope of G2 going 18-0 because it's like interesting for the storyline and it's cool and all. But G2 already in draft make some questionable things here. And already they're hinting that they are becoming more and more joking in their approach. And you might ask, why, Yamato? Why is this more joking than usual? You might think, oh, maybe the sauna. Maybe Yamato just doesn't like the sauna. No, my main issue doesn't necessarily lie with the sauna. It is more about the fact that we're in a position here where first pick Aphelios I like a lot. Very very strong. Yumi out. Zyrakan is the obvious response, which is the only trade I think is viable to do. We saw a lot of Yumi, but honestly, I think Zyrakan Aphelios is definitely the trade to do. I think anything else is not good enough. So basically, Aphelios now for Zyrakan, it's already a commitment here. So the question here is, right off the bat, maybe taking Rakan away is valid, because I think Zaya without Rakan is not that great. Especially here, since the rotation was Set and Zaya, I think, there was some room to punish here with the Rakan if you wanted to go for it. But G2 went for the Gragas Yasuo duo. I think in a lot of cases, Perks has received some Yasuo bans in second wave when Gragas has been picked, so it's understandable if they want to go for it. But I think with the choices that Misfits are going to make in first three, these are three champions I do not want to play Yasuo against. So Yasuo against Rakan, Zaya, Set, these are already three champions that will do very, very well against a champion. The wind wall isn't necessarily that effective, and if you ever play Yasuo bot lane, you will know that Zaya Rakan is probably the hardest lane for you to play against. Rakan is a very good champion against it, and the fact that Zaya has her ultimate and she can proc the Yasuo passive very easily. There's many reasons as to why Zaya Rakan set is very good against Yasuo. Rakan can easily cancel Yasuo, the W is very good against it, the wind wall is less effective, and Set has a lot of ways of interrupting Yasuo ult and also CCing him down and actually dealing with him. So I think based off of these first three that are going to be picked, because of course Rakan is going to be the third pick on red, for a fact that already now Yasuo will struggle. You don't see the enemy mid pick and they will have freedom of choice. There was also consideration here that Seth could potentially go mid into the Yasuo and have a fine matchup if they, for example, went for the Elise. The next rotation, I appreciate Misfits bans as well. Lucian is a good ban, Syndra is a good ban, Soraka is a good ban, right? This is completely fair and it's a good plan against G2. Akali out of the picture allows you to ban something else. And then trading, the question here, if it's better instead of banning Jarvan, to just go for a Rakan ban. I think, did you play Corki in solo queue today? Yes, I did. If you ban Rakan on blue, you kind of force the enemy to ban Aphelios, and then you will get one of these picks that is good for you, because I think just Aphelios for Zyrakan is a fair trade. And then, as I mentioned, Yasuo into Zyrakan sets, I think it will be very, very difficult to play. This game, Perks had a fantastic game, played very, very well, but you will still be super, super limited. Next rotation, we had Elise jungle ban. Elise is a good ban because, it enables you to pick a lot of mid laners that will be available to you. Elise is like a ban towards a lot of mid laners already, like Kiana and the Pantheon and whatever you want to play, because the AP options are getting slimmer. Sure, there is Karthus, but Karthus isn't in the same slot as something like the Gragas Elise, because they can be very active in terms of forcing ganks. We see the Echo pick, and the Echo pick is a very unique one, right? Because we see it a lot in solo queue, but a lot less in pro play. 10.3, Echo got a nerf, so this champion got nerfed. It's very important to highlight. It got nerfed, and this was the first time we saw it in the jungle for Sense Forever. I don't remember seeing it in competitive jungle since like the World Championship. Nevertheless, Echo's a champion that, it works in solo queue because it's much easier to get kills in solo queue. There's a lot of junglers that are good in that class where it's like if they get 2 kills, they snowball out of control because the jungle speed kind of triples and they just go and snowball super, super fast, like Echo, like Shaco, like Rengar, a lot of these timeout junglers, So with that being said, Echo, if he gets a couple of kills, looks absurdly broken. That's why in solo queue he's more prominent and less so in competitive. The issue here, though, is when you lock in Braum Sona, like Braum is completely fine, right? Braum is not my favorite against Zyrakan, but it's playable. You'll have some windows to win all-ins with Braum, Aphelios specifically. Maybe if you want to play for the lane, maybe Leona can be better, but it's indifferent. So I'm not gonna put less focus on this. This is just a preference thing more than anything. Right? Echo. When you play Echo in solo queue, you play a game of spotting the inter. And right now with the Sona lock-in, the 2v2 will be very difficult for Agragas and Sona in the top side. Echo can go MR and Rune, and of course Seth is going to go MR and Rune, and the mixed damage and the all-in from Agragas and Sona is just not damage heavy enough. So Sona and Gragas, the 2v2 will be completely out of the picture, and Sona will always be a sit and duck. And there always needs to be a trade-off, right? If Sona is losing in the top side, you need to make sure that you're winning bottom side, but that's a story of the rest of the game, right? So Echo gets locked in. The game of spotting the inter, Sona is a good target, right? Because the 2v2 is non-existent and so forth. And then the last pick, Azir, it's a staple pick into the Yasuo. Yasuo can win this matchup. I think what was said on the broadcast was maybe a bit inaccurate. Yasuo can win this matchup if he can play perma aggro, right? Perma aggro. If he can play perma aggro, then he can win. But playing perma aggro is tricky, right? It's like if Azir can freeze the wave in front of the turret and Yasuo doesn't have the space to play aggressive and push it in, then Azir will win. If Azir can push and bounce without getting punished, then Azir would win. If Yasuo can dash in perma, then he'll win. So the conditions for Yasuo to win are harder to achieve, but in a vacuum 1v1, Yasuo can indeed win this matchup. He went fleet forward this matchup because I imagine that he believes the 2v2 will start at level 6, which is completely reasonable, right? But already, if I'm playing Yasuo and I see this enemy team comp, I'm having a difficult task ahead of myself, right? Very difficult task ahead of myself. But I've learned in these past years, this past split and a half, like the last 2 splits and a half, that what's it called? That G2 always can see a bigger picture, so you give them the benefit of the doubt because in a lot of cases the drafts look worse, but they figure out the way to do it. But it's very, very hard to imagine a place where Yasuo will be happy here. No matter how well Yasuo plays this game, these 5 champions are 5 champions that do rather well into Yasuo. The W of Echo, the interaction with his ult and not being able to get one-shotted is a pretty good interaction for Echo with Yasuo. Azir, good interaction with Yasuo. Seth, Zyrakan, very good interaction with Yasuo. So it's something to be a bit more careful, something to be, a bit careful about. So say a lot of people asking me about the Jackra Attila beef on Twitter. So obviously I'm not going to say anything. The only thing that I am disappointed by is that, I don't know what the Spanish video said. I don't know what Attila said in this video. I am very disappointed that anything at all becomes public because there is nothing positive for them to gain out of this. Nothing. I will not comment on their situation, I hold them dear to heart because I work with them and there is no reason for me to get involved. I think, you know, it is just a mistake to air your laundry in public. I know there's a lot of emotions involved because a lot of them, you know, they have history, and the public is very vocal about them and so forth. But you know, the bottom line is, I don't think this should be spoken about. You know, every team goes through hardship and pain, and when you walk away, it's important to just walk away with the lessons and walk away with the good memories, because nothing good will come out of this. Nothing good will come out of this, and I hope that this will be the end of it. I truly hope so, for their sake, and I just want them both to move on, you know. And I don't know if Attila started it. If he started it, then I blame him more than Jack Troll, because there's no reason to even talk about it. Things are in the past. Perspectives are different, and what you make of it is what matters in the end. You will never change anyone's perception at this point. Okay, so back to this conversation. Sona, you know, if we talk about the Sona, in contrast, like, what are the picks that you could pick here? So we see Set is a flex, Echo is locked in. Most of the time, you know, Sona is okay here, considering like what are the options. So we have Mordekaiser, Gnar. Honestly, Gnar probably would be quite decent here, but at the same time, it's not too fancy, right? Doesn't do too well against Zarakan Echo. It's tricky. You know, you can play Gnar into Set. I like the matchup. We've seen it a lot in LCK. Mordekaiser could be an option. You have AP damage. With that being said, it is what it is, right? Sona blind. It's so reliant that your bot lane goes well. The bot lane has to go well. Kled is not good. Kled is not good, my friend. Zuma Star. I'm sorry, but Kled is not good. Vladimir, no, not that good. Sona is not the problem here, honestly. Sona is not the problem. Okay, so we talked about the draft. I think the conditions to win the game are in the favor of Misfits, right? Oh, what the fuck is happening? I need to remove one epic pen. Epic pen, boom. Oh no, I removed all epic pen. One epic pen only. Okay, one epic pen. I usually activate 2 epic pen. Let's continue. So as I said, I think Misfits have better conditions to win this game. Well, usually that hasn't been like a problem for G2, right? They figure out a way. But always when you play Sona, your bottom side needs to win. Your bottom side needs to be stronger. And for those who watch this game, you know, this is, you know, Ash. Painful, you know, painful. Ornn could be fine, you know, Ornn could be fine. Ornn could definitely be fine. Mordekaiser could be fine. Sona, in my opinion, is also fine. Can you turn up the volume? Of what? I can barely listen to you, man. You can turn up your volume. There's only one source of sound right now. Mother Soka. No, I'm kidding. I increased the volume. Okay. So G2 last week got pretty punished in the level 1 against Fnatic. Let's see if they do anything different. I'm gonna put myself up on top of the Pringles. Nothing in the level 1. Echo starting red. Let's follow the Echo pathing here. Right now they are mirrored. Echo's pathing into bot. Gragas is pathing into top side, but of course both junglers have options, right? They can take 3 camp top side and maybe spread or something like this. There is definitely room to you know, diversify your pathing. Level 1, not so easy for Yasuo mid lane. Wunder, of course, for anyone that doesn't know, Sona, you go Spell Thief's Edge, you harass, you focus on harassing, you get a lot of gold, and then eventually reach a point where you leave topside and you just ignore it. The weird part here is that Wunder is indeed playing Eri, which means penis in Arabic, and TP. Usually we see the ignites with the Dark Harvest, which is, you know, okay. I don't think it's the underlying issue. We saw also Wunder going a lot of TP on Soraka. I guess it's just a competitive choice, especially if your mid laner is not running TP. In solo queue, you see a lot of oh, I'm fucking burping and not burping. I have something stuck here like a frog. So there is, I'm just focusing on burping now. There is, I was talking about Soraka and yeah, making a choice of going TP. I just lost focus. Let's just bounce back somehow. Echo full clearing, Gragas full clearing. He has his golems on bottom side, so Echo is a bit more efficient here because he did 3 into bottom side. Gragas is not gonna do any shenanigans here where he gets double crab anyway, because Echo's gonna do crab into Gromp. Gragas will get level 4. Level 4 after this Grompovic. No problem. Razor with the sweeperoo. It's weird, Graga, you know, what Wunder's been doing and what Jitsu's been doing, whenever Wunder has played either Sona or Soraka, early pathings have been into top side. So Yasuo will not be able to assist in any top shenanigans, but here, the fact that the Junkos, after using the plant and spotting out the golems and warding out that he is indeed wasting a bit of his time on top side. There's no option of dive. I think after you use the plant and you see that the golems are done and Echo is nowhere to be seen, that Echo's pathing is quite predictable. And Sona is going to be safe to push in this turret, because this was awfully close. Misfits had a little window here to dive and it turns into a 1-for-1. Denik with the flash ignite punch. 1-for-1. The biggest difference maker here is that, you know, both bot lanes, they lose all of their freaking summoners, which is humongous. Humongous what? 2-for-1 for G2, but there is a big wave that is lost for Caps. You can see it in the CS differential already. 3-for-1 even. CS differential. So Bivoy is happy, but Gragas is also super happy. Gragas is monster fed here, right? Echo managed to get away with 1 CS, but we mentioned before as well that his jungle clear was a bit more efficient, but that efficiency got thrown out of the window when Razor committed into this bottom dive because he didn't do his Gromp. So here, Gragas, a good timing here, Predator into rush bottom. This dive is very predictable. The question is if Misfits could actually manage their wave in a way where they dove before the cannon, because if we look at the wave here, on this wave here, right? I don't know if there's a world where they push faster or they dive already, but it's just really awkward because the range creeps might not be in range of the turret, and if they dove right here, Jankos would be nowhere to be found, right? Beaver level 3, Denik level 3, Razok level 3, maybe they can just look to one-shot Caps here, right? Because the same conditions are set here after they push this next cannon. Beaver with little tempo, procs it, and then continues. One more Q for Caps. Maybe if they manage the wave a little bit better, which I think should be a possibility. Maybe they tank up the next wave so the full wave crashes and they dive already, because this becomes riskier and riskier with time. They spot Jankos on the top Tribush ward, but then afterwards, you know, they are playing with borrowed time. Maybe if they go for that dive right away, it would have been better. Okay. So still, Jankos is monster fed here, which is great for the game. G2 will have options to play on the 2v2 mid lane, considering Yasuo has MR runes and is going to enjoy the double magic damage side of Misfits. This is definitely the way in for G2. Even though I mentioned over and over that Yasuo is very difficult to play. That Yasuo is very difficult to play. In the lane phase, in the 2v2, they still have a lot of options if they want to look to impact this game. The difficulty here, though, is if you consider the decision in the first place, right? The decision in the first place from G2 to path into topside, was it correct? So Wunder now with the cancelled TP gets smacked on the noodle. Honestly, we went from replay into this, so I don't know what the situation is, but the fact that Razork finds this right away, as you can see, he didn't clear any jungle camps, he just rushed straight to top. And we mentioned before, with Echo getting kills and finding value through lanes is super, super important. And here, this is so detrimental because we had a lot of pieces here at play. Sona burnt her TP, she can't TP back, so her TP got cancelled. Dan, you saw him doing the shup shup, you know, the shup shup. I call it the chup chup. He just sucks everything in, right? And then Sona just got stunned, TP cooldown, and then a wave was stacking. We didn't see how this wave stacked, but obviously Dan can easily trade each HP to get the push at any point in time because Sona can't really push the wave, but she can harass away. And then now already we have a massive CS lead. It is humongous. Tremendous, even tremendous, absolutely magnifique. You know, this is a huge swing of gold in the favor of Misfits right back at them, you know, because right now we had millions of creeps just dying into the turret, all off of that TP cancel, and there's a lot of, you know, steps that we have to take in order to really see what's going on in this game. So still, we compare the bottom items, Berserker Greaves into double longsword, in favor of course, Xayah and Rakan. Rakan got the first blood, so he's sitting on the Moby boots already. Braum, I don't think he managed to base yet, which is kind of weird. I don't know how that happened. Because once again, we were in replays and such, and this is where it starts. So Braum is going for the base. 102, has a lot of cash. Bottom wave is in a position where Caps has no business walking up. So here he's walking up for no reason, gets W'd, and the root lands because B-Boy is on point here. With the Q, E auto root, very simple. Any half-decent Xayah player is going to deliver on this. So this is Caps walking up on the wave. When Braum is out of tempo, he needs to just, you know, accept the position he's in because of what happened before, right? The wave bounces, Braum needs recall, and then afterwards, Misfits will of course look to freeze the wave. Why tab in Ninja on Braum? Because he wants to prevent himself from getting one shot from the Xayah Rakan. It is a decent purchase because Moby Boots Braum is less exciting because you see that the enemy mid laner is Azir. So enemy mid laner is Azir. Of course, buying Moby is just too uninteresting. And the Ninja Tab is very good against Xayah Rakan because a lot of their damage comes from the Xayah autos and you're going to be the one blocking a lot of them. A big difficulty for Braum can be the fact that he can almost get one shot in this lane as well. And Ninja Tab, you know, Rakan auto attack damage is very, very high. He's one of the highest level 1 ADs in the game. That's why the level 1 all-in of Xayah Rakan is so powerful with the W and the W on Xayah and W of Rakan. To push for the all-in. So Wunder is already looking to leave the lane at level 6, and when your Kirche Shard is bought and you begin to get, you know, you reach a point where you're capped out on creeps because you get this, I want to call it disease, but it's a debuff. When you get that debuff that makes you get less CS from gold, it's just your time to roam, and then you trade in a way where Sona is, of course, impacting the lane, impacting mid or bottom enough for it to compensate the fact that there is nothing gained on top side. And then Sona naturally gets gold from her support item, and you know, that's the juice. That's the juice we're talking about. So yeah, little window where Mickey X is level 6. The all-in happens, but Razork is on the case. And G2 got very greedy here because they have a window where they can recover the lane because Braum caught so much XP, but Jankos is doing Rift Herald right now, and this greed is painfully punished because those kills we were talking about in regards to Razork, they're starting to stack up, and when you reach AP jungle item, Echo gets heavily accelerated. AP jungle item, very powerful point in the game, and Jankos' lead becomes smaller and smaller off of the hands of G2's mistakes here. So Parks gets knocked into the tower. This is a part of it, right? Always with Azir, you're quite safe around this space here. So basically, as Azir, you want to maintain the wave in a position where you can farm from here, because the all-in from both Yasuo and Gragas will always be difficult here because of the ult, right? And ideally, what you do is with Yasuo is that you, if this is mirrored, if you're Yasuo on this side, you want to look to freeze in this space, so Azir has to stand here, right? If he's standing in this space, he's also better, right? Would the Mercury threads be better just to make Rakan CC shorter? No, it's not that efficient considering, the W doesn't get reduced by Mercury because it's a knock-up, right? It only works against the Charm, works against the Root too, but getting rooted as Braum is not necessarily the issue because when you block, the feathers land in front of you. So with that in mind, Ninja Tabi just makes you more durable, and it's perfect because you are going to be the one eating most of the auto attacks anyway because of E. So we spoke about G2 and their window to all-in here. They just wanted to use that Mickey's level 6, and these are some of the risks that higher level players will take, right? Because they're going to review this and they're going to look at the situation, and maybe there's an argument to be made that this is the only all-in opportunity they will ever have. Because the moment YamatoCannon reaches level 6 with the advantage they've built, bottom lane is super over. So, with this in mind, this level 6 all-in, maybe this is something that as a team they should have played around. Because Jankos was on Rift Herald, obviously the all-in became a lot worse because of Razork being there. But I know the thought process of G2's bot lane here is to all-in, add level 6 of Braum because he has XP advantage, because if Misfits reach level 6, there is no chance of coming back. Right? So this bot lane is very doomed for a lot of reasons. Caps made a big mistake, and then they tried an all-in, and then now there is no recovery. Anything that happens from this point onwards, bottom is doomed. And we already mentioned with a champion like Sona, it's so important that when you have Sona, it's so important that your side lanes are winning. So if you don't have a hard-winning mid or hard-winning bottom, it's going to be very, very dangerous, and it's going to be, quite rough, So regardless here, Caps is in a shit spot. Whatever you do here now, there's no saving. This is not like in solo queue where you call your Gragas into bottom side, because here, if Echo matches, he's just doomed. And Misfits pulling all the classic cheeses, which is a very good sign here for Misfits. Because I think Misfits' bot lane was very timid. They were taking it very, very easy in the beginning, and now we see them, popping off. I think this is a big confidence booster, because I think that was the final piece for Misfits. Their bot lane having confidence. Because I think a big part of Misfits' wins was their top side. I think Razork and Fabiven have been absolute monsters, and Dan has been very, very solid. So this is a massive confidence boost, and I think it's very necessary, because I've seen B-Boy in solo queue back in Korea. I can tell you guys a little secret that I've scouted this guy and I've considered him for past teams, but that's the only thing I'm going to say. B-Boy is an interesting prospect, and I think it's good that he's coming, taking shape here, because he was kind of a backseat gamer, playing Senna and Aphelios. So we saw as well Fabiven getting one-shot at Yasuo dying, but of course it was a denial. Gragas and Yasuo are the shining lights, and it's the only way of achieving any pressure. But even if Perks goes into bot lane here, he's going to have problems against the YamatoCannon, because YamatoCannon naturally just good against Yasuo. No matter how fed Yasuo is this game, it's going to be tricky to deal with. Oh, do you see the combination? Ooh, look at that. The backflip into the, I wanted to call it the Event Horizon. I've been on the Vega train way too much. the parallel convergence or whatever it's called, the circly thing from Echo. The circly thing. Very nice combination. It means that, G2 will have an opportunity to look to do Drake. Infernal is the trade. But, Misfits are indeed getting a bloody... Ooh, okay. They're getting a bloody top first tower here as a trade-off. If you can, the set is punching away. The last platings are very, very... very tough to take down, so it's gonna take some time. B-Boy flashing off, and I want to see what exactly happened here when Perks ulted in. It's the cancellation, the Q and B-Boy flashing. Everyone's healthy, everyone's happy, but G2 still should be looking to do the Drake, if I remember correctly. Oh, no Drake. No Drake? Where's the Drake? Okay, no Drake, just going for the turret. Okay. It's fine. Okay, it's no problem. I remember. Can you please wait 5 minutes? This will be uploaded on YouTube. I'm not gonna wait 5 minutes because you need to go take a shit, man. Just bring your phone and watch it. So instead of doing the Drake, they went for the bottom tower, which is a fair decision. I don't disagree with it. I think the Rift, this is one of the last opportunities where G2 will have a mismatch situation. And whenever Misfits match here with even numbers, it's going to be very difficult with the lead that Misfits have built up, because wherever Zyra can go, especially without the towers broken now, they can play through mid and hover into their weaker side. And now with the strength of Echo, because he's managed to accumulate a lot of kills onto the Sona twice, onto the bot lane once, this is very, very meaningful, because all of a sudden Echo's strength is going to start to shift the 2v2s that might be favorable for Yasuo. Still, Misfits want to avoid the 2v2 with Echo and Azir into the Yasuo, because you can see about no magic mantle, he's itemizing into the Echo and the Azir. So the set Echo 2v2 is what they want to look for, right? Right now, Set doesn't have TP, so he can just play for Prior with the Timeite, push away and group. Sona will not enjoy catching waves on the turrets. He's going to group anyway, right? So let's take a look at this fight, because this was one of the shining moments for G2. This is, of course, on the back end of B-Boy getting caught here. The barrel doesn't get popped here, because B-Boy definitely could be taking a bit more damage here if Jankos indeed presses Q. But then it goes for the W. You see the EW here. Oh my goodness, what the hell? 4,000 bitcoins. 4,000 bitcoins! Thank you for the bitcoins. Thank you so much for the bitcoins. Where's Hooks NA? I'm as rich as Elon Musk now, man. Thank you so much. I don't know how much 4,000 bitcoins is, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the bitcoins. Okay. So yeah, the battle doesn't pop. The battle doesn't pop because Jankos is thinking about the bitcoins. Of course, he gets W'd by Danik here, so he's looking to get more damage out of it. But Perks plays this pretty well. All things considered, this is some of the best things you can hope for. There we have some of the bursts that Sona can do. Wonderful, move speed away, flashing away. And Fabien playing a bit of a dangerous game, because I think Misfits should accept that this fight is lost and they should have walked away. Gave up the Infernal, and it just started way too bad. B-Boy got caught, and this is what you need to kind of hope for. This is what G2 need to... G2 need to kind of look for these pickoffs. These are the best hope fights ever. You're also getting kills. Caps still dying. Still dying. Wonderful. Still rocking that trend of trying to beat some kind of record. I don't know for the amount of deaths, but it's indeed a rough game for Caps. I think the biggest mistake that he did was in fact on that second death, when he walked up when Braum needed to base, because he was sitting on so much money. I don't think Sona is the issue, my friend. The issue is that bottom is losing way too hard, and mid was a matchup that takes too much time in order to be impactful. Which I don't think mid was the more important issue. It's more about the fact that, you know, just bottom is hard hitting. You can't play a game where your bottom is this behind as Sona, you know. So B-Boy dies, no ult from before, no flash from before. Here we go, the combination. Fib even getting caught off guard. Razork is nowhere to be found, and Fabianche does this very neatly. But you can see G2 understand the position they're in, right? G2 understand the position they're in. They're trying to force very, very hard. This is a bit too much because Graga's ultimate is nowhere to be found, but they're playing on Yasuo. Like, first we had the E. The fuck happened here? Like, I'm trying to look at this fucking little screen. Oh, there's the E, and if Habiba maybe timed it a little bit better, it could have been a bit dangerous. Oof. Okay, so the Gragas E lands, and then maybe Fabian with the heal jogs away, gets Q'd, and then boom, the barrel misses. Okay, so Fabian plays this decently, but at the same time, you know, there was a lot of margin of error here for G2. Like, if Fabian drops his ult a bit earlier, maybe they don't tank the turret, maybe they walk away with only the Azir ult used. Instead, they hard committed, Yasuo went, they went for it, Gragas no ult, Gragas ult cooldown is definitely tricky there, because the way you want to do it is Gragas tank first, but the tanking reset right away because Azir pushed him away. So ideally you tank first with Gragas, barrel, use your combo, walk away because Yasuo has more to contribute with his auto attacks, right? Gragas wants to E, R, Q, walk away because he has no more spells or damage to do, right? He needs to wait for cooldowns, and Yasuo wants to slice and dice and make it nice like a piece of cheese that you want to put on your bread and then just chew it in. I see how all will blame it on caps, but it's Jankos and Perks losing games and can't be solo when it's needed. No. That's a straw man right there. That's not even this is just that argument was one of the worst arguments I ever seen. It's okay to love caps. I love caps too. It's okay to love caps. We had a rough game here. This was a rough caps game. There's no way to go around that. Okay. The main thought process is G2, sure, played this bad, should have waited for Gragas ult. They didn't play this dive good, but I think they feel very pressured on time because of how fucking useless Aphelios is. So, hint of understanding with, you know, yeah, they could have done better. But Sona is definitely not the issue here. I don't think Sona is the issue. I think Sona, sure, Sona is tricky considering, you know, it gives an avenue of play for Misfits, but the moment Sona TP gets cancelled and he gets dove, that's just rough, man. That's just rough. Razork is an incredible jungler, to be honest, but then again, LEC has the best junglers in the world. Oh, no. Don't go there, Papi Chulo. That is a dangerous statement to make. Because some of the Chinese junglers and Korean junglers they're all Jankos level. This is we have great junglers in the context of LCS junglers, but the best. Let's use the word. Let's reserve the best for the actual best, which are the Asians. Let's take it easy. But to be fair, we have great junglers. I don't want to take that away because we have great junglers. We do have great junglers. Honestly, Clidded Worlds was underwhelming for me, man. Mechanically very good, but boring. But SKT was boring, so I don't blame him. Okay, so Caps died again. What happened? Razork, stun, clapperoo, boom. That's how you echo, my friends. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. I like it. So a random circle at the Baron timer, 4 minutes. Sona doesn't want to soak side lane, and the issue now is that Misfits get mid prio, they get side prio on set side as well. The only person that needs to be careful over and over is Fabianche. Fnatic, Misfits, fucking Team Envy, Feb even. Razork is matching, but I think that's the only way in for G2, of course. If they want to look to fight, it's going to be on Azir's side. Azir, for some reason, it's really troll, honestly. This is a reportable offense, and I'm sure it's going to show up in the video that Chakra's released, the new series of pros itemizing like monkeys. I don't know who... I don't know the name of the actual series, but I'm sure everyone knows what I'm referring to. These Mercuries will definitely go down as a shit purchase because you're getting pounded by the knock-up combos. And Mercury is not going to help you there, right? So ideally, Fabian plays safe side, Misfits, play through mid into bottom side. Honestly, the only thing that they need to do all game is push mid, hover into Yasuo side, and G2 have nothing to play with. Mickey, this also works, you know, Yasuo's showing on both, Son is showing on top, they can just ram it down bottom. But let's say in a position where G2 want to just play on the fact that, ooh, Wanda is dead under the sea. So this is just rough. It's painful, you know. Sona never wants to go side again after that early game, but she doesn't accomplish anything grouped either because Misfits have a very strong 5v5 composition. Everything is just in the favor of Misfits winning now. The only option still, I repeat it for the 15th time, Gragas Yasuo side lane, but even that against Set, I think they lose. And Azir just needs to play it cool, you know. It's like YamatoCannon can get prio, especially with the mid tower gone now after that dive we saw. It is just hover into Yasuo side, and G2 is like a puppy with no teeth, no legs, no arms. It's just a floating puppy head. Floating puppy head is what they are right now, and the best thing they can hope for is to your Misfits need to make mistakes. That's it. You know, Misfits need to make mistakes. But Misfits, when they got leads, look pretty solid the last days. They've gone 4-0 for a reason. 4-0 for a reason. And G2 definitely need to cook up something very special. This could be the name of the game. Dan getting caught off guard. I think he should stick under his turret here. I think jogging away from the turret was a big mistake. So this is rough. I feel like Aphelios is lacking of escapes. Caps wouldn't have entered that much with Ezreal or Trist. That's a take right there, my friend. Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if he gets ulted by Gragas and jumped by Yasuo, there are few items besides Zhonya's that will save him. Well, not even Zhonya's will save him. There are no items that will save you. That's why you buy damage. Like, sure, you will get away with... I think what he means is weak side Aphelios. The thing is, this was supposed to be a strong side Aphelios. Because Sona is not your strong side. Sona is not your strong side. This was... Okay. Gragas started red. Gragas started red, but just because Gragas starts red doesn't make it weak side bottom. Like Gragas was bottom on the dive, right? He's just full clearing. And then he wants to defend the Sona, make sure she doesn't get killed by Echo, and then he wanted to go. It's completely fine. So this was a disaster. YamatoCannon, after pushing bottom tower, going for this. There it is. The X was not good enough or strong enough, and Razork is monster fed. So as I mentioned before, the options here for G2 are non-existent. They have to go try to go 5-man on a side lane and hide on bush or something. You know, it's getting quite ridiculous. This game state, right? That their composition, you know, when you're behind with the Yasuo composition, it's just there's no return here, man. I don't even want to look at this replay because honestly, there is very little to speculate about. So I think there's two big problems here. You know, Berks had a fine Yasuo game, but Yasuo honestly is garbage into Misfits team composition. Very, very bad. How do you want to play Yasuo against this? And then here, I think Yanko's, the animation of E is faster than R, so I think you just fucking R instead of throwing the barrel, because here, or at least throw the barrel from the bush. Because here, Yanko is you know, it's harder to react if he E's first, it's much better. But then, yeah. I think they take Yasuo to deny from Gragas. What does that mean, my friend? I think he threw ulti when he wasn't in bush. Yeah, it's way too easy to react to. Way too easy to react to. But they probably will lose the fight anyway. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. If you pick Yas, then enemy can't. But they had Gragas. That's why I don't know what you mean, man. You need to try to find other words to describe what you're saying, because picking Yasuo to deny Gragas Yasuo is weird. what are you saying, man? You're some good kush, man. It's okay, it's okay. I realize that this is... I thought red side Gragas. Yeah, this is blue side Gragas. And now let's just... What do G2 really do? This G2 comp is boom. G2 comp only works if they are snowballing out of control. So that's it. That's it. That's it for my review. Oh, whoa, what happened? That's it for my review. Okay, so I want to just highlight one more moment. So we had the dive, right? Misfits could potentially dive one wave early if they manage the wave better. Worth to consider. Jankos gets triple kill here. The main thing here is, after, Brom needs to base. But Brom knows that the wave is freezing, so he's kind of like, fuck my life. I think the wave is freezing at least. And, for now... And now comes the big mistake. This is the game thrower, man. This is the game thrower, man. Look at this one. Oh, this is the game thrower. This is the game thrower, ladies and gentlemen. This was Cap's biggest mistake. Not biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. This is where Caps knows he done fucked up. Because the wave actually is reset. Right now the wave is reset. But he's walking up. Why is he walking up? Rough one. Alpha gamer indeed. Why is this the rough one? Well, now is the time where Zyar can start to snowball. And then the nail in the coffin. So G2 bot lane has one advantage here. One little advantage, and that is Mickey X level 6. Mickey X level 6. They are going for it. You see, he's slamming down They're looking for the all-in. They want to recover the lane. They want to recover the lane. They want to recover the lane. But what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, what happened? Razork is on the case. And Gragas is in the top side. And then now it is absolutely boom. Boom. Go next fast. Go next fast. Go next fast. Go next fast. But I understand why G2 want to do this on bot lane. They know that this is the only window where they have any type of advantage. Because if enemy Xayah and Rakan get level 6, there is no recovery. So they went for a gamble. They went for a Gambleroni. But the Gambleroni didn't work out. Pasta, pesto, zucchini. It didn't work out. Yeah? And that's the end of this review. Bellissimo. Thank you.